The topic is your pitcher's game time preparation world class? And I think even a better topic, as I thought about this later, I created this PowerPoint a while back, and I would have changed the topic a little bit. I would have said, are you improving during the season? Are you improving during the season? And I think the vast majority of people would say, ooh, those two things are really, really difficult. We know they're hard. They're hard. When we start playing, there are so many things that enter into the fray that it's just, and especially if you're a head coach, are your pitchers improving during the season? And you as your head coach might go, yeah, well, I got like 43 irons in the fire, and that's, it is what it is. We do what we can in the off season. I'm going to try to change your mind on that today. I'm going to try to do what I started out many, many years ago with the velo thing. We're going to look at it from another perspective. And I believe that it will be, I don't think everybody's going to embrace it, but I think if you do, I think it's a game changer, because we're going to play for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and if we can improve ourselves during that 3 or 4 months, that can change our whole trajectory, right? And I want to kind of share with you the nexus of why I thought this was so important. Obviously, I got to watch our son play select ball for all those years, high school baseball, college baseball, and now 6 years in the pro game. Here is a absolute similarity in all those. There's a lot of differences in all those levels, but here's the similarity. And I think all of us, we don't like to talk about it, but in all honesty, we have all seen it. We have seen 2 or 3 pitchers. I'm just going to give you a specific case, and it can be in multiple different cases, but I'm going to use a specific case. The young man who is struggling throwing strikes in March, he is still struggling throwing strikes in the end of the season. And we just go, that guy, what you gonna do? So we end up saying, well, we just got to get another guy that doesn't have that problem. So in other words, we're always looking for the guy that doesn't need to be coached. Good luck with that, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to dig down deep, and we're going to say, all right, what are all the elements that are available to us? Now, you're not going to be able to change, you're not going to take all the elements. It's like the first day. I've got to tell you kind of a quick story about Coach Foley. He was here for the first half a day, and he went, I got plenty, put up his notebook, and went home. And he was full, right? He was full, right? And he was like, okay, all right, thank you very much. Went home, got out his kinesiology books, and said, what did Ron say back there? I'm not sure. You're not going to get, I'm giving you a menu. I'm taking you to the smorgasbord. You're going to take pieces of that. My hope is that you're going to take pieces of that almost immediately, and you're going to be able to apply it. Then over time, be able to add, and add. So I'm going to take you through the process today. And really, the question that I'm going to ask you is, are you a generalist or are you a specialist? Maybe sound like an odd question. I will tell you that as much of the studies that I have done or research that I've done on success, I cannot find a really successful, truly successful, top-of-the-line generalist. They do not exist. Mr. Oates says that as a politician, okay, maybe that's true. I don't know. But we have to become a specialist. The next question is, specialist in what? That's the next question, right? But so not too long ago, I ran across this article, and I don't even know if you're aware, it surprised me, I don't know if it'll surprise you. The top 5% of waiters in the United States, waiter and waitresses, make over $200,000. That's a waiter right now. Why do they make $200,000 where the average waiter is, okay, you know, right? How's that possible? Well, and you might go, your brain might go, well, if you work at Ruth's Chris, of course, yeah. Well, how do you get a job at Ruth's Chris? So you go back to it, and at the end of the day, you just go, they are a specialist, an extreme specialist in that restaurant, in your experience, dining experience. That's why they get paid the big bucks. So a specialist is someone that really looks, we see the iceberg. A generalist will tell you, here's the top of the iceberg. He'll tell you the obvious, or she'll tell you the obvious. The specialist understands much more, I'm not saying all of it, much more of the whole iceberg. That's the difference. So where are you at? Now we're always trying, this group is here today to try to know a little bit more about the iceberg. Like that's my whole life, is trying to find out every day, trying to find a little bit more about that iceberg. Now, I don't know if it's hit you, but it's hit me several years ago. People would say to me, they asked me a question, and they would say, Coach, how much time off should I take? And I go, whew. Sit down. I mean, like a generalist would say, well, everybody should take 3 months off. Really? Everybody should take 3 months off. That's what a generalist would say. Or 2 months off, or 2 weeks off, right? A specialist would say, have you ever had a question like that and you go, whew, I can't answer that. And like, you want an answer like in 20 seconds or 2 minutes? That answer is way deeper than that, right? And so I think what we do is we find ourselves trying to give a short, quick answer when in fact, in a lot of different questions, there's no short, quick answer. We're going to have to do our due diligence. Where are you at in your journey? Where is your arm? How many pitches did you, on this specific question, like how much time should I take off? What was your workload before? Where are you at with your competitive peer group? There's so many questions to that before I can actually say, yes, take time off or don't take time off, right? It's not just as simple as that. So we're looking at that, and of course, it's a really good analogy because if we don't understand what's underneath the iceberg and we've got a ship coming, that's not a good thing, right? We can really get in trouble fairly quickly if we don't understand more and more of the iceberg. So what we're doing today is we're going to try, all of us, to just kind of chew on all the pieces of the iceberg, and then we're going to have to decipher when we go home, what can we affect immediately and what we're not ready for, but it broadens your thought process. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you to think in a way that an average camp or clinic would not do, right? Now, whether that's better or not, that's up to you, right? I just know I've done this for I've been on the earth for 64 years. I've been doing clinics for 25. I'm interested in impact, right? I think a lot of clinics are, Brent Strom and I have had multiple conversations on this, right? A lot of times guys go to the ABC. Why do guys go to the ABC? By the way, I love the ABCA, right? Why do they go? Well, they get to see their friends, they get to connect, right? They get to go in the hallway and talk, they get to have a beer, and then they get entertained by the presentations, and maybe they pick up a couple things. But most of it is like it's entertainment, it is networking, it's socializing. There's nothing wrong with that. But as far as if you go to the ABCA for impact, not particularly effective in that way, right? Really lacking, because in a 45-minute session, how much of the iceberg can you talk about? Not very much.